Hi, I'm Jenine Lillian. I'm a neurodiversity consultant and educator who also just so happens to be autistic. Today, I want to talk to you about your Zoom culture. We don't think a lot about Zoom culture the way that we think about office culture or company culture, but we really need to because Zoom is the norm for all of us. And a lot of organizations and individuals are actually being exclusive and not accessible in the way that their Zoom meetings and workshops are structured. So I want to look at this specifically in the lens of how neurodivergent friendly are your Zoom meetings and workshops. So let's dig in. 10 signs your Zoom meeting culture might need a reset. 1. The meeting starts 5 to 10 minutes late while people arrive. This is a tricky one because it seems to be the most common mistake individuals and organizations make. We want people to join our meetings and we don't want them to feel left out. But what ends up happening is that there's no incentive for anyone to be on time if the meeting consistently starts late. Also, we want people to join and be prepared a few minutes early, just like they would be expected to do in an in-person meeting. So your Zoom meeting culture might need a reset if you consistently start your meetings late. 2, participants are required to keep their cameras on the entire time. We are adults and we know that we are there and present, listening and participating. And requiring folks to have their camera on at all times is exhausting for everyone. It's really not necessary, especially when you're looking at a screen share like you are right now. 3, links are read aloud instead of shared in the chat. I can't tell you how many workshops and meetings I've attended where folks still say, you can see our website at www. Just copy and paste that in the chat. And that way people can go to it right away. It'll open a new tab that they can explore when the meeting ends. And you don't have to remind them or say out loud, we no longer say www. Anyway. 4, the presenter talks continuously without pauses for questions or check-in. This is really tough. This happens a lot with nervous presenters. Most presenters are introverts. Many presenters, such as myself, are neurodivergent. So if this were a live event, I would check in with my audience, make sure that I'm not going too quickly or giving too much information and no opportunity for them to process it. Especially if you're having a Zoom meeting with a team and working on a project, or if you're doing a workshop. This is important to check in with your audience and make sure that folks are tracking what's going on so that they feel included and that they're able to participate. 5, chat participation is treated as less meaningful than speaking. This goes hand in hand with the cameras on requirement. Basically, since we are all adults, we know that we can type in the chat and sometimes communicate much more effectively than we can verbally. Also, it makes it easier for us to figure out who's raising their hand and who has the question and who has the comment. And the audience members and participants don't have to hold those questions or ideas in their top of mind while the presentation, the workshop, or the meeting is taking place. This helps for them to be more present and engaged with you, the presenter, and it also helps to make sure that no one's ideas, comments, or questions get left out. So what are some other signs that your Zoom meeting cultures might need a reset? 6, people attend meetings only for, quote, informational purposes. If the meeting's not required, don't have people go. 7, meetings are scheduled back to back throughout the day. This is a massive problem in work culture, regardless of physical location. Folks are feeling like they have too much to do and so much to attend to, and all of these meetings are scheduled back to back. This one is really harmful for our wellness, our self-care, our ability to catch up with ourselves and actually be present and attentive. If you want a more productive audience and workforce, make sure that your meetings are not scheduled back to back throughout the day, and encourage your team and participants to create some space to grab some water, go to the washroom, take a break, do some stretches, grab a snack between meetings. It helps everyone. 8, Every meeting is automatically scheduled for 1 hour. You don't need to have a 1 hour meeting if all you really needed was a 15-minute touch base. And if you have a policy change or an announcement, that doesn't even need to be a meeting. That can be an email. So watching where that time is being taken and demanded throughout the workday, the work week, and the month and the year. It is taxing each individual as well as each organization. 9. Instructions assume everyone's screen looks the same. Lots of people are joining from very different devices. Maybe a phone, maybe a Mac, maybe a PC, maybe a smart TV. So saying that it's on the bottom right of your screen really isn't helpful. So if you want to give some instructions and actually be inclusive, share your screen and walk through the process verbally as well as on screen visually. 10. The meeting runs long because the presenter keeps talking at the end. This is another one that goes hand in hand with what we talked earlier. It doesn't give the audience or participants a chance to process what's been said, to ask any follow-up questions, to share ideas, or to make sure that they've got their next steps clear in their mind before they leave the meeting. Once the content is delivered, consider the meeting done and follow up by email. So in that 10 ways your Zoom culture might need a reset, you've probably identified one, two, or several things that are hindering the accessibility and inclusion of your Zoom meetings and your workshops. So remember that whenever we elevate the experience for the neurodivergent individual, we also elevate the experience for everyone involved. Neurodiversity is a really great way to keep an eye on what's inclusive and what's accessible, because we know that this helps all minds attend and participate. So don't worry. Most individuals and organizations, especially if they did a quick pivot to online after the pandemic, are doing a lot of things wrong in terms of being exclusive and placing multiple barriers on accessibility and inclusion from their teams and their audiences on Zoom. I have created a step-by-step guide to improve the accessibility and inclusion of your meetings and your workshops, and that is available at the link in the description for the introductory price of $49. That price will go up. There's nothing like this in the market, especially because I have lived experience of both a workshop facilitator, an instructional designer, and an autistic person. So please check it out and tell your friends. It is friendly for organizations as well as individuals and small teams. And if you have any questions or if you'd like to collaborate, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Have a great day. So don't worry, I have created a step-by-step guide to help you improve the accessibility and inclusion in your Zoom meetings and workshops. This works great for small teams, larger organizations, or even corporations, and it is available for an introductory price of $49. You can get it at the link in the description. It's a digital download PDF, and I look forward to hearing how you're implementing and if you have any follow-up questions for me.